And welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. And of course, make sure you drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and get involved in the comment section because today is Aston Villa fixture release day, as well as the rest of the Premier League. And we are here to talk, to discuss all things with the fixtures. And as I'm sure, like every single football fan does out there, they look at some of the key dates, the opening games, the Boxing Day, the last game of the season. You know the drill, but also people are starting to do the point scoring. People are starting to add up the totals. People are starting to look, where can Villa gain points, drop points? Where's it going to be difficult? And all that good stuff. But for me, there's one thing that is true with fixture release day. It's about being prepared to know, could Villa get off to a good start, the most important start, and then build from there. So big up to everyone. We're going to look at the fixtures. I think there's some big key things that have come out of this today. I think that we've finally got a home fixture on the opening day of the season, which is something that has been long overdue as well. I think fans as well are really happy with the opening start. Now, we had this problem last time in that actually on paper, Villa were gifted a really good start last season and didn't quite make it count. So it is all about, for me, making sure that absolutely we get the job done at the start of the season to set ourselves up properly. So yeah, that's one or two things to have a look at. We've also got the fact of the matter is the Europa League advantage, which I'm going to share and talk to you all about this morning as well. There is a Europa League advantage that maybe actually is something that could help us further in the campaign. We found out last season that essentially when we played Champions League games, our away form basically was always getting hindered, faltered, squandered in the Premier League that weekend after. So we need to make sure that we make that count and see what happens with that. So big up to everyone. Get involved in the comments. Make sure you smash the like button. Max says, morning, mate. Can't wait until it starts going to be in Zante for the first three games. Not a bad way to start. And of course, that is where we sort of land. We're going to go to the start in there. Big up as well to Fraser's in there. Big up to, well, it seems strange saying morning rather than evening. Exactly that. But let's get into this. And Josh, would you take a Spurs type season to win a Europa? I want to win. I want to win both. I want to win the Europa, and I want to go far in the Premier League. I want to qualify and put our stamp on the Premier League. And I think that a trophy is massive, but also so is finishing that top four. So we've got to do both. But I know that if you win the Europa, as I say in Fraser, then we get that Champions League spot. But look, some teams are absolutely furious with their fixture list. Some are loving it. Arsenal fans are in absolute meltdown and crisis. They think their fixture list is absolutely squandered their hopes of winning a title. But yeah, there's some funny stories coming out of it all. And as I said, the Europa League one is massive, in my opinion. The Europa League advantage that I want to talk to you about is absolutely huge. So, look, let me share this on the screen right now for you all. Hope you're all well. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. And the sun is shining. So are the Aston Villa fixtures for the 25-26 season. So as you can see here, August, we've been gifted that open home tie against Newcastle. Then we have, again, Brentford, and then Palace with Everton, Sunderland, and Fulham to follow. August and September is absolutely dreamy, in my opinion. Absolutely dreamy. We've got one newly promoted side in Sunderland, and then we've got what I call the average to bogey teams. Your Brentfords, your Palace, your Evertons, your Fulhams. Teams that, for some reason, we absolutely crap ourselves about on paper, but reality is we should be beating them all day long. But I'm excited for that Newcastle game. I think Newcastle first game of the season at Villa Park. We obviously played them at St James's Park, when Tyrone Mings got his really bad injury 2 years ago. We seem to like Newcastle first game of the season. And I think that actually playing Newcastle at the start of the season is a way to set the tempo going and the tone going for us to start the season as we mean to go on. I think Newcastle will be right up there again this season. And so it'll be a good test, a good challenge to see how we land and fare against them. And what some people are saying is that, and I completely agree, is if you think about those first six fixtures, Newcastle, Brentford, Palace, Everton, Sunderland, Fulham, we could find ourselves at the end of September cemented in that top four in a really, really nice, precarious position. I think that's what we've got to look at. get a good Premier League start, get a good start under our belt, and then we are absolutely flying, and I like it. So here again are the first five. I'm going to put that on this graphic here. This one's a better graphic. Big up to each and every single one of you. Fraser may go to Newcastle away. Not Wembley, absolutely. Absolutely, Fraser. You're going to enjoy some great games this season. Why is that? That's because I'm sharing the wrong screen. Sorry, let me share this graphic better with you. But yeah, the key dates, as I said, it's these games here. We've got 2 home games in our first 5. Some people might be a little bit disappointed in that, but they might enjoy their ways. But look, if I had to break this down, you've got Newcastle. That's going to be a stellar tie, absolute stellar tie on the opening game. I really like that one. I want a mouth-watering tie. We've got a good little rivalry with Newcastle, and I think that's going to be brilliant. We've got a new Brentford, and why do I say it's a new Brentford? Well, it's a Brentford without a manager of note in Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank has done a superb job at Brentford. He looks set to join Spurs. I think that's all but done. So it's a new look Brentford with a new manager. Crystal Palace. Now we all know Palace are our bogey side. Unai Emery. Come on, man. Come on, man. You've got to get this one right. And honestly, if that Palace game is going to be the one that scuppers us, then I'm going to be absolutely fuming. So Crystal Palace at home, Saturday the 30th of August, got to be done. Followed by Everton at their new stadium and Sunderland away. Some really juicy ties. Really juicy ties. Everton away and Sunderland away. Honestly, I think they're juicy. I think they're tricky, but they're juicy, and absolutely got to get our form sorted, ready for those. But that's that Newcastle and Palace, 2 tricky sides that we've found in the past that we've got to play there. So, out of those first 5, how many points are you feeling? Early point prediction. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Possible of 15 points available. How many points would you like to see Aston Villa take from those first 15 points? I'm actually going to put this out there. I'm thinking a minimum of, I reckon a minimum of 10 points. I think we should be aiming for 12. You take maybe 1 loss out of those. But I'm thinking minimum of 10. 12 would be amazing. 13, absolutely goated. And Joe Harris is set up there. Joe said 15. He's going all out. Absolutely, Joe, you are. Fraser, see, I had 13 in my mind as well, Fraser, originally. I had maybe a draw and then the rest of W's. Fraser is right. Palace never seem to get a good start the season well. So that's one we need to get at. Crystal Palace are slow burners, which is a very fair point. Crystal Palace are slow burners in the Premier League. But it's Newcastle. You know, we've got to maybe take an L or a draw somewhere. But there's also a reason why Joe is absolutely spot on. We could go and get 15 points. And that's why it gets exciting. And this is why we're all a bit nuts. Because we're going to sit here and we're going to try and predict these fixtures. We're going to try and sit here and go, we could get a great start in the Premier League. And I think Villa are very much all about starting the Premier League at a good tempo, a good pace, and go from there. What I'm going to try and do is see if I can compare where we were last season in our first 5 games and see the start that we had here. Look, here we go. I can find it now. So Villa, back in September or August, should I say? Villa back in August, we had that Arsenal game, didn't we? But we had West Ham. Yeah, we had West Ham away. So Villa had a really good start again last season, which again set us up nicely. So Villa last season, I'm going to show you now. Villa last season had a really good start, apart from that Arsenal game. So if I go to last season, this was last season. We had West Ham, a 2-1 win, lost to Arsenal, but Watkins missed all those chances. Beat Leicester away, beat Everton at home, beat Wolves at home. And then we had that really weird game against Ipswich, which we should have won there. And then drew with Manchester United. And then we went for a little bit of a slump. So it was interesting. Our first 5 games, as you can see here, 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 out of 15 last season. We had 12 out of 15 last season in the same sort of circumstances. So when you look at Villa last season, our opening games, our first 5 games, we took 12 points. Perfect. Which did give us that good platform. And then Fraser saying we've got 9 points in 23-24. So we can build on that. 9 points under Unai Emery first 5, 12 points under Unai Emery last season. Let's go for 13 to 15. And Joe saying top right Xmas. Love that. Captain saying 9. Captain a little bit more pessimistic, should I say, in terms of those predictions. Interesting. I'd love to know why as well, what your thoughts are around that one. All right, let's go on to the next part then, which is the last 5. This is where people are fuming. Oh no, let's go to the festive. Let's go to the festive fixtures. Festive fixtures. Why are the festive fixtures important? Because it's a time when you play lots of games, you play lots of minutes, you are congested. And look, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Forest. That is could be a doom or gloom festive fixture, should I say? Is it going to be a happy time around Christmas? Well, look, we got Man United on December the 20th. Another bogey side for Villa, but it's at home, so maybe a bit of a cheerier one. So our last game before Christmas is United. Then we've got Chelsea and Arsenal away. They're big ones. That's a really tough festive period going into the new year. But I'm glad we got Forest at home as well. It's the Chelsea and Arsenal games after Christmas, the Christmas hangover. That's not going to be easy. And depending where Villa are, depending where our form is and how we are looking in that table, those are 2 games where you don't want to come away with, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal. You don't want to have a 0 out of 9 points there. But people, it's as I said, it's all sort of sat here guessing, point scoring, totaling up. But I think that is one period that Villa will not look forward to. So that is a hard one. And then finally, the final 5. And Fraser, I do agree, it is a tough one. And Captain has said we're gonna Newcastle lose, Brentford win, Palace win, Everton lose, Sunderland win. Ooh, losses against the Everton's an interesting one as well. Not fancying us at their new ground. Fulham then. Saturday, the 25th of April. So we've got Fulham away, Spurs at home, good. Burnley away. Hopefully Burnley are already relegated by then. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully Burnley are relegated, so it's a pointless fixture for them. That could happen. Liverpool at home. Could be massive. Well, if the Premier League is like this season, then the title will already be Liverpool's by then. But if, by any chance, Villa could have a say in the Premier League title race, potentially with Liverpool, Man City, the last 2 games of the season, Villa could be part of the Premier League title race. And that is something, again, that you have to consider, you have to look at and think, do you know what? We like it. We absolutely like it. So, let me know your thoughts on that. I think that is a really tough ending to the season. I'm not going to lie, especially with Spurs, Liverpool and City. Hopefully the Fulham and Burnley games are just a standard professional performance away from home. But can Villa have a say in the title race? We're going to have to wait and see on that one. I like it. This is the big one for me, though. This is the key thing I was looking at today. And people, by the way, thank you for everyone who is in here. Do smash the like button if you haven't done so already. I've seen this. This is quite funny. While I share this about Ismail Sarr, because he's the one who haunts us against Crystal Palace. Ismail Sarr at AFCON when we go to Selhurst. So basically, what we need to know is that we're not going to get destroyed by Crystal Palace anymore, because their player who always scores against us, Ismail Sarr, is going to the AFCON. So happy days on that front. We don't need to face him. I like that little voodoo thing there. That did make me laugh. But this is what caught my eye out of all the fixtures, and I think this needs to be talked about a little bit more, is this. Villa. We saw in the Premier League, after Champions League football, we struggled the weekend after a game. We really couldn't back it up. We really didn't know how to back up a performance in the Premier League after playing midweek. Have a look at this. Home after first Europa fixture, home after second, third, fourth, fifth. There's no game after our sit. Away on the 7th home. We have one away Premier League game. One away Premier League game out of our possible 8 after Europa League. So basically, when we play in the Europa League, wherever we travel, wherever we go to, it follows up with a home game. That is massive for us. That's massive for our confidence. That's massive for our qualification. And it's massive in terms of balance in the Europa League and the Premier League, because people are going to say, oh, we've got to go out all out for that Europa League. I mean, Pau Torres' interview has said it all. He wants to win the Europa League. He wants to win the FA Cup. Villa are gunning for trophies. Look, that is massive. That is absolutely massive to be able to play those games at home in the Europa, straight after the Europa League game. Minimises travelling, minimises. Remember, we're going to be Thursday, Sunday a lot now. We're going to be Thursday, Sunday. That is absolutely just a dream. And the way that's landed, one away game out of a possible 8 and no game after the 6th. And hopefully, long may that continue deep into the competition. Captain says, not fancying us against Moyes, maybe a draw then. Everyone else's positivity is getting to me. Yeah, I like that. Turn it around, Captain. Need a big start. Got to go ahead of the pack. Get some space between some teams below. Unfortunately, last 2 games could easily be 0 points. Yeah. Could have an impact on the title race. Just dreaming. Imagine Liverpool win a league on match day 35. Damn. It could happen though, friends. That's what I mean. You know, Villa very much with Man City and Liverpool last 2 games of the season. We could have a say in the title race. But yeah, captain is liking that. So if you want a positivity out of the fixture list as well, this is probably the highest and the best. Let's see what some of the comments are on this and see what people say. But we have got West Ham away on Sunday the 13th. Okay, so 2 away games out of a possible 8 is still good, isn't it? In theory, excellent. But as we don't win after Europe, it's a waste of home games. Someone's Philip is a little bit negative there, but no, I think it's a massive positive. I think that can't be overlooked, and I think that we need to embrace that massively. So, yeah, people, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way in which Villa have been drawn that hand in the fixtures, and as you've seen, we've seen the open days, we've seen the festive period, we've seen hopefully a lot of positive things to come. So, yeah. We'll stay tuned on that one, but yeah, big up to everyone. A little reaction this morning because I know it is hot topic, and I'm sure every person's been studying the fixture list, going through that fixture list, and trying to work out where and what Villa are going to end up on. As I said, my overall take at the moment is a really good start. Get a good start, get a strong start. 5 games we should be winning, and then. Who knows? Who knows? I think December is going to be tricky. Last game this season's are not easy. But with Aston Villa, the priority is the Europa League, winning a trophy and finishing as high up in the Premier League table as we can. And with those fixtures, who knows? But listen, people, we will be back later for more content. I think we're going to be doing a big up tonight for the Real Madrid versus Al Hilal game. And we'll do some Villa news as well later on tonight for some transfer stuff. But yeah, as I said, got a bit more content coming. Any breaking news, I'm sure we'll bring it to you. But Real Madrid versus Al Hilal tonight on the Big Up. Make sure you come and join in for that and stay posted for the transfer content later today. And yeah, if you haven't already, please do smash the like button for me. Run those likes up. And yeah, Matt said, hopefully Liverpool have won the league. Well, yeah, that's what I said. Liverpool could have the league wrapped up. The way Liverpool have been playing this season, Matt, it's last season. I've looked at their signings. I am tipping Liverpool probably to win the league again this year. I really am. I really think that Liverpool are going to win the league again. I just can't see past them. But yeah, if they play the kids and we're all good. Tom crying in my DM saying Arsenal got a hard start. We're going to win. Yeah, I think Liverpool are going to win the Premier League 25-26 season. And I think Villa are going to have to push to be right up there. But listen, big up to everyone. Thank you as always. We don't usually go live in the morning, so something a little bit different. We appreciate your support out here. And I'll see you all later on, people. And yeah, see you tonight. Make sure your notification bell's turned on. I'm out of here. Big up the chat as always. Enjoying all your interactions, and we'll be back later on YouTube Live. I'm out of here, people. Have a good one. Enjoy the sun. Enjoy whatever you do. Ta-da.